Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are at the ITU World Championships here in Chicago. Buckingham Fountain as our backdrop. We are presented by Epson, and you're watching us on triathlete.com. Our next guest, sales and marketing major man, Stan Brajer. Stan, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Bob. Dude, how are you?
I am wonderful.
Cool.
So talk a little bit about what's going on with Epson. People think Epson, and I don't know if a lot of people make that connection to endurance sports, watches, and technology like that.
Exactly, and ironically enough, it's part of the company is Seiko Epson, so they've been making watches for in excess of 60 years.
Yeah.
So they have really good heritage here, but from a technology perspective, actually been in the GPS business for over 20 years.
So providing it to other people.
Right. Other platforms.
Yeah.
And for the last 3 years, the number one selling GPS running watch in Japan for the last 3 years.
Right. And when you first got in, when Epson first got in, it was primarily running watch specific.
Yes. Yep.
And talk a little bit about the development of that product and the acceptance.
So, and you know my history, with my previous companies at Garmin and Timex, and I've been in the industry for a number of years. And as long as I've been doing it, you develop the technology, whatever category it is, in running first.
Right.
And that's where you get the credibility and authenticity.
And the mass.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, and now we're on the verge of expanding the product line, and we really want to see what the opportunities are in not only triathlon, but multi-sport as a whole.
Right, yes. Well, because you think about it, is so many people are out riding their bikes, so many people are swimming, so many people are working out at the gym. The application is there. What has changed since you've been around, since the Earth was cooling, in terms of the technology in watches and in GPS? How much has it changed?
Well, it's ironic because I've been running for 4 decades, and I joke with the kids that I manage that I can remember the first road races where they handed us the tongue depressor,
the sundial,
and the guy was yelling out your splits and remember your time. I'm not going to say it twice.
Yes.
And you hand in your tongue depressor, and you fast forward to now where we have wrist-worn heart rate technology that's actually even more accurate than the chest strap.
Yes.
And we'll be able to do, motion sensing. We'll be able to do cadence, ground contact time, kick dynamic. But one of the challenges is distilling it down to where Joe and Joanna Jogger, the masses, can understand and apply it to their training.
To me, one of the biggest limitations of people using heart monitor, training with a heart monitor was the strap. The strap was a pain.
Sure.
And when you guys came, and people have tried it before, but nobody's really done it successfully.
Right.
What's different about what Epson is doing?
Well, the great thing, and one of the things that attracted me to the opportunity, Epson is first and foremost a technology company, and we own all the technology that we develop. So unlike some of our competitors who have to farm it out second or third party, we own, so we can really control the technology. And we're really serious. We have a long-term strategy and vision in this category of, similar to what Epson has done in their past history with projectors and printers. We really want to be one of the major players and really revolutionize the category. Smart watches, activity monitors, this is all part of our long-term roadmap plan.
What you've always been great at is linking up with great athletes. Mm-hmm. And right away with the watch, you hooked up with Meb Keflezighi, Boston Marathon champion, Olympic silver medalist, one of the legends of the sport, but also a guy who's very discerning in terms of what he uses and what he's going to represent. Talk a little bit about what you guys learned from Meb, from him using the watch.
Well, the great thing is, the early adopters and the elite athletes are a good testing ground because obviously that's their livelihood. That's how they make a living, so they take it really serious. But, recently, especially over the last 5 years, technology has become even more and more important, especially when you get to that level. You have to pay attention to every detail. And the great thing about Meb, I signed him to his original Garmin deal way back when. It was his first wristwear deal, and that's when he really got into technology training. But at that level, you really, and especially at his age now, to be performing at that level, you really have to pay attention to all the little things and all the little details. That's where all the metrics and the data really come into play. And all the technology companies can give you enough data to make your head explode. But what do you do with that data so that you can improve your performance? And one of our visions and our goals is whether you want to lose 5 pounds, you want to get off the couch and do your first 5K, do your first triathlon, or you're training for the Olympics, we want to provide the technology and the data to help you achieve those goals.
So multi-sport cross-training, as we talked about triathlon, we're here at the ITU World Championship. You've had a number of athletes testing out the product. Talk about some of the feedback you've gotten, because you're getting into a brand new category.
Right. Well, ironically enough, and you know me well enough, we don't have to name drop, but I have a really good stable of athletes that trust me because of the relationship, and it's all about that. That's
this business.
Have you
We
been
can talk
successful?
technology all we want.
Right. At the end of the day, when
who do you
I pick
trust?
up the phone and call those, and when those guys give me the feedback, I know it's genuine, and because I'm not compensating,
Right.
I'm just testing out some product, and I have some of the top athletes in all disciplines using the product, and the feedback has been really overwhelming, and that's one of the things that really trusted me to take this opportunity on.
Yes.
Because I really rely on, at the end of the day, that's all I have is my reputation, and
Right.
same with you, and it's really important to me.
What I always like is when a company comes in and basically says, "We really don't know this space. Teach me."
Right.
Right. And you guys have reached out not just to the athletes but other manufacturers in the industry to find out what do people need, because the biggest mistake people make is coming out with a product that doesn't work.
Exactly.
And you guys are taking this slowly. When is the plan to roll out something in multisport?
Well, and ironically enough, this is why we're here. We're on a fact-finding mission, talking to people like you, talking to people like Katie, some of the new people that
Yep.
are tech savvy, the millennial customer, and then some of the old school guys. That's why we're going to Kona in a couple of weeks. We'll have our engineers, and some
Kona,
of our sales
huh?
management people, so we'll
Nice.
get reunited there. And then we really want to, and it's similar to with GPS running watches. If the category has been evolving for the last 10 to 15 years. And when I first started consulting for Epson, the first question I had for the company was, you've been making the GPS for 20 years. What took you so long?
Yeah.
It just dawned on
Yeah.
you that this is a hot category. Well, they're slow and methodical, and they want to make sure that they analyze the business opportunities first,
Yes.
and make sure they're in it for the right reasons and have a long-term strategy. And I think that's a really solid plan. And now aligning ourselves with best-in-class athletes, coaches, media, technology people, so that we make sure we're developing the right products, because at the end of the day, you need to be profitable in order to do the things you want to do.
Yes, and you have to have those early adapters have to have success so that other people follow along.
Exactly. We got really shining reviews after CES in January from DC Rainmaker on our product.
Nice.
His word is the gospel in this category, totally unsolicited, and we knew we were onto something. And then some of the elite athletes that I'm working with that have major sponsorship deals with a lot of the major athletic brands
Yes.
are giving me the highest praises for the product.
Love it. Stan, thanks so much for your time, bud.
Thank you, Bob.
You're going to enjoy yourself. Have you seen a lot of these ITU races?
I actually, this is my second one. I was in San Diego.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and that was my first exposure to the ITU. I've been to Kona a couple of times, so I'm really interested in seeing how this develops and the technology, how we can help these athletes achieve their goals.
It's pretty cool to see the sport of triathlon in downtown Chicago.
It's awesome.
Love it.
Look.
Stan Brajer has been our guest. Again, this is Breakfast with Bob. We're at the ITU World Championships in beautiful Chicago with Buckingham Fountain as our backdrop. We are brought to you by Epson. And hold on, everyone. We'll be right back.